I bought this vine from a small Etsy shop thinking that it was going to be a true Maypop, but it turns out that this vine might just be an imposter. So back in 2023, I planted what I thought was a Maypop vine that was only 12 inches tall at the base of this cypress tree. Now here 2 years later, this vine has expanded 100 feet in my garden. But as the plant grew, I began to realize that there were things about this vine that were kind of suspicious. The shapes of certain parts of the plant were kind of off, as well as the color of the flowers. Now, one of the first and most subtle things I noticed were the differences in the leaves. Though the young shoots on this type of vine start out with 3 lobes, when it reaches mature age, it'll actually switch over to 5 lobes. Now, on a true Maypop vine, 5-lobed leaves are actually more of an anomaly, but on this plant, there are 5-lobed leaves all over. Right here is just one of thousands of suckers that this plant puts off. And as you can see, this one's still pretty young and it's got 3-lobed leaves on it. Most of the mature parts of the vine are covered with leaves that look like this. Another unusual thing about these vines is that they have deep purple flowers. Now, even though Maypops have purple color in their flowers, it's usually more subdued. It's not this deep of a purple color. And on top of that, there's usually little accents of pink and white thrown into the mix. Another strange thing about this plant is the growth rate. All of this foliage that you see on the lower part of the ground here is passion fruit vines. All of these bushes that you see around the edges, they are also now becoming filled with vines. Over here is where I'd been trying to pull them up. And as you can see, they're winning. Then if we go over here, this is a whole new patch. This started to grow just because the roots from this area came all the way over here. With the 5 lobes on the leaves, the color of the flower, and the rapid growth rate, I'm led to believe that this is actually an incense passion fruit vine. So at some point in history, somebody took an American Maypop and crossed it with a South American variety called Passiflora Cincinnata. And these beautiful vines you see here in my garden are likely the result of that cross-pollination. You can sometimes find these vines mislabeled as Maypop in certain garden centers. So that's probably a major source of the confusion surrounding this plant. Another telling sign that this plant might be an incense variety is that the flowers have a super strong and beautiful aroma. Oftentimes when I'm walking down our gravel driveway, I can smell those vines all the way back here. The scent I smell off of these is somewhere between fresh cut roses and fresh honey. They really do smell amazing. Oftentimes incense is grown as an ornamental because of its pollen sterility and high number of flowers. Because its own pollen is sterile, there's a lot of mixed information about whether or not these plants can actually produce fruit. Now, I did some reading and it seems that the best way to get fruit from these vines is to get a true Maypop to grow nearby as a provider of pollen for these flowers. I have been getting tons of flowers, but not a single fruit. So I'm hoping that this Maypop vine will help things to become more productive. Now, I got this from an eBay seller in South Carolina who said that it was growing wild in a field right behind their house. She also confirmed that her vines do in fact set fruit and that the fruit is delicious. So I'm really excited to have this plant as a companion for my incense. If I am actually able to get this incense vine to produce fruit, I will do an update as well as a taste test for all of you guys. Also, I would love to get you guys' opinion. Now, do you think this is a Maypop vine with a few little quirks, or is this truly an incense hybrid variety? I await your opinions in the comments below.